Hello! This video will cover how to authorize and bill for taxi or transit ride tickets and passes. In many areas, transit services are limited or they're unavailable, so individuals could use taxi services for non-medical community transportation. In our video today, it'll outline how CMEs can authorize and bill for those services using procedure code OR003 for taxis and OR554 for transit passes and bus passes. Users must have the POC manager role to do the following work. From the left menu, select Plan of Care, Plan of Care. On the Find Plan of Care page, enter whatever search criteria are needed to find the individual. I have a Prime, so I'll enter that in and select Find. From here, select the Plan ID hyperlink to open the Plan of Care. On the Plan of Care, select the Transportation tab and then select Edit. This will open the Plan of Care in Edit mode, where we can select Add Plan Line. We'll begin with selecting the service element for the individual. I'm going to select Ancillary Services. Now, select either OR003 for taxi services or OR554 for transit or bus passes. I'm going to select OR003 for taxi. This next portion is key information so that billings can be completed successfully. In the Units section, in the left box, enter the number of taxi or transit companies that could provide service to the individual in a month. I'm going to enter 2 to represent 2 companies that could serve this individual. Set the right box to month. This step allows the CME to submit one billing for each provider every month, and that single billing for the provider is for all the rides given to that individual. This will be discussed more in the billing information portion. Next, enter in the date range for this plan line. I'll start in August and go to the end of the plan. Then select Save. Underneath the plan line, select Add Provider. This will allow us to create generic provider SPAs for each different taxi and transit company that the client will utilize. I'll enter in the basic information, including the name of the provider and the dates. In the Units section, always enter 1 and select Save. This will allow one billing per month for that company's service to the client. Once the rate field enables, enter the maximum amount anticipated to be billed for a month of service from that company, and then select Save. I'm going to enter $250. I'll follow that whole process again for our second provider. I now have 2 SPAs, one for each agency that I anticipate rendering service to this individual. Now, click the Submit button to submit them to accepted status. Once the SPAs are in accepted status, billings can now be created. Users must have the applicable POC Claims Manager role to take the next steps. To begin, let's return to the home screen by clicking the Home button. From the home screen, select Plan of Care, Service Delivered, create service delivered entries from single service authorization. On this page, enter the search criteria needed to find the authorization. I'm going to enter my client's Prime and also the procedure code. I'll leave the effective and end date as is, since I know it will return my service prior authorizations, and now I'll select the Find button. From the results set below, you'll see that all the generic SPAs are listed together and that the service location and PSW field only list the text for the first SPA entered. However, each SPA will be for a different transportation company. You can determine which one by clicking the blue hyperlink. Once you've found the company that you'd like to bill for, click the $sign to be taken to the Service Delivered by Service Authorization page. On this page, enter the following information. Enter the last day of the month being billed. So if you're billing for August, enter August 31st. Then, enter the total amount from the invoice that was received for all the taxi rides or the transit tickets that were purchased that month into the actual rate. This may involve totaling several different invoices all into one amount that's entered into the actual rate field. I'm going to enter in $176.15. In the total items field, always enter 1. That's because this is a single billing for the total of all the invoices billed by a company for that month. Now, select Save All. Once the save is complete, select the checkbox next to the SD billing entry and select Submit. If successful, the SD billing will reach approved status, and then it will be aggregated into claims for a payment back to the authorizing CME. The CME can then forward the payment to the taxi or transit company or vendor.